We're at a hinge point where those who internalize today's nuance will quietly build tomorrow's leverage. Welcome back to AI on AI. Today we're asking, can agents really learn from their own early stumbles and beat imitation-only training?
Short answer, yes, if you turn those stumbles into supervision. Think of it like flight simulator hours before real RL.
And from a product lens, early experience is the bridge we've needed, less brittle than imitation, cheaper than full-blown RL infrastructure.
Safety-wise, it's attractive, reward-free, but still grounded in reality because outcomes are actual states, not wishful rationales.
Infra hat-on, this works because you harvest lots of short rollouts, not marathon traces that explode costs and logs.
Technically, there are two big knobs: implicit world modeling and self-reflection. One predicts futures, the other explains mistakes.
Strategy-wise, this maps to a classic hedge. Measure twice, cut once, pre-RL preparation that raises the RL ceiling later.
And hey, fewer reward hacks. No more duct taping evaluators to everything like a late-night hotfix.
Let's unpack implicit world modeling first. What's the gist?
You predict the next state given state plus action. It's like learning the physics of the website or tool ecosystem.
Exactly, no separate simulator. The policy internalizes dynamics by doing next state prediction as an auxiliary task.
Business impact, fewer catastrophic detours in shopping flows, onboarding forms, or claim portals, less clicking into the void.
It also reduces distribution shift pain. Agents learn what happens when they misclick, not just when they're perfect.
And it's infra-friendly. You just log state action state triples and run standard fine-tuning. No exotic runtime.
Self-reflection next. How does it differ?
You contrast expert action with your own alternatives, then generate grounded reasoning from observed outcomes.
It's post-game review for agents. Why the detour failed, what constraint you missed, how to fix the plan.
Small joke, agents finally read the manual they wrote to themselves.
In practice, we saw stronger planning for travel itineraries and multi-turn API sequences. Constraints get respected.
Important caveat: reflection must be grounded in actual outcomes, or you amplify hallucinations.
I want to push back slightly. Too many alternatives per state can bloat context and slow training.
Fair but modest branching works best. 2 to 4 alternatives gave solid contrast without cognitive overload.
Where is this working in the wild?
Customer support flows with policy-bound tools, fewer tool misuses, smoother argument passing.
Search and reason assistants that craft queries iteratively. Early experience densifies the learning signal without rewards.
In web shopping or registration funnels, predictable transitions make world modeling shine.
The ROI angle, you need fewer gold demonstrations. Early experience makes good input, good output actually scale.
Compliance-wise, recent safety rules in several regions now encourage provenance for synthetic data. Early experience fits that story.
And tool calling is getting standardized lately. Cleaner schemas mean better state representations for both methods.
Recent developments. What else is changing the game?
Popular policy optimization recipes for agents stabilized this year, so early experience checkpoints feed RL more reliably.
Long context model upgrades also help. You can fit richer trajectories without truncating crucial signals.
Open ecosystems are catching up too. Better evaluation harnesses and browser sandboxes reduce rollout friction.
Here's a heuristic: pre-train on dynamics, fine-tune on decisions, RL for polish, stacked gains without heroics.
But don't assume RL is mandatory. In many enterprise workflows, early experience plus guarded decoding is enough.
That's a contrarian but useful take. Ship earlier. Add RL when reward plumbing is verifiable and auditable.
One more ops note: short horizon rollouts are easy to parallelize, no need for heavyweight simulators.
And it travels across model sizes. Even parameter-efficient adapters pick up the gains.
Out-of-domain shifts, early experience helps. The agent has actually seen the consequences of being off distribution.
It's like learning to drive in rain and glare, not just sunny DMOS.
Any pitfalls we should flag?
Ungrounded reflections can backfire, and overbranching reduces contrast. Keep the reflections tied to real outcomes.
Log hygiene matters. Define state boundaries and redact sensitive fields before training.
Also close the loop with live evals. Fail fast, learn faster needs dashboards, not vibes.
Technically, mix objectives carefully. World modeling first as a warm-up, then decision tuning. Order matters.
And don't skip ablations on action space regimes. Closed, structured, and open spaces behave differently.
Humor break: if your agent's plan looks like spaghetti code, don't serve it al dente. Reflect and replate.
Future-looking, what's next?
Expect experience factories, continual training from organic interactions with strict privacy and governance.
Richer self-supervised targets beyond next state text. Latent dynamics, tool traces, and counterfactuals.
Unified telemetry. One pipeline for rollouts, safety filters, and RL warm starts.
Policy controls that bind reflections to documented constraints, traceable and auditable by default.
Playbook for execs. Start with early experience on priority flows, instrument outcomes, then graduate to RL where rewards are clean.
Final quote to leave listeners with.
Learn the world before you try to optimize it.
And remember, it's easier to steer a moving ship than to blueprint the ocean.
Don't miss the brief summary right after this.
Narrated by the AI voice of Shri. The theme is how to train language agents to learn from their own early experience without external rewards. Researchers propose a middle ground between imitation learning and reinforcement learning for language agents built on large language models. The key idea is to turn the agent's actions and the resulting future states into training signals. A language agent is a model that reads text descriptions of an environment and decides what to do next. A verifiable reward is feedback from the environment that can be automatically checked for correctness. Imitation learning means training on expert demonstrations of state and action pairs. Reinforcement learning means optimizing decisions to maximize long-term rewards returned by the environment. Many real settings lack reliable rewards or require very long interactions, which makes reinforcement learning unstable and expensive. The early experience paradigm addresses this by collecting interaction traces where the agent proposes alternative actions and observes the next state. Two methods implement this idea called implicit world modeling and self-reflection. Implicit world modeling trains the policy to predict the next state from the current state and a chosen action, which internalizes environment dynamics. Self-reflection trains the policy to compare expert actions with its own alternatives, generate explanations grounded in observed outcomes, and then prefer better decisions. Across 8 environments, both methods consistently beat imitation learning on effectiveness and robustness. In WebShop, implicit world modeling raised success rates by roughly 11 to 18 points depending on the model size. In Travel Planner, self-reflection improved success by about 13 to 15 points. In Science World, self-reflection produced gains of around 13 points for one tested model size. Out-of-domain generalization also improved, meaning performance held up on tasks outside the training distribution. Starting reinforcement learning from early experience checkpoints led to higher final performance than starting from imitation learning alone under the same training recipe. Methods that add longer chain of thought, meaning step-by-step reasoning text, at test time or untested rationales during training, did not match these gains because their reasoning was not grounded in real outcomes. Early experience reduced dependence on expensive expert data, sometimes matching full imitation learning with half or less of the demonstrations. The branching factor defined as the number of alternative actions tried per state, helps implicit world modeling at larger values and helps self-reflection most at modest values. The approach scales across model sizes, including very large models, and remains effective with parameter-efficient fine-tuning. Challenges remain with very long horizons, reliable credit assignment, which means identifying which actions cause success or failure without rewards, and limited infrastructure in real environments. Future work aims to combine early experience with richer self-supervision, transfer across domains, and continual training that later incorporates rewards when they become available. This matters because it offers a practical path from human demonstrations toward truly experience-driven agents that learn safely and efficiently. Help us grow the circle. Share this panel with a peer who's exploring the same frontier.